Hello and welcome to another Hearts of Iron 4 video. The Hearts of Iron 4. Is this gonna make it in? This is Ck3. Hello and welcome to another Ck3 video. In this video, what we are going to do is we're going to have another random world that we are going to be looking at, but not a time lapse. This one, we are going to see if we change the Jure realms, what will happen. So that pretty much means that these empire titles and everything that are here, what if we randomize that? What will happen in the world? There's going to be some other random stuff as well, a lot of other random stuff. So we're going to go ahead and see what happens. But if you like this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and let's get into it. Let's see if we can see what happens in real time. What? Yeah, this is what I watch every time I randomize the world. It's pretty interesting. It goes through all, it makes everything a county, and then it goes through everything, and then it slowly speeds up, and then there we go. We have a quite interesting map. I formed a whole bunch more of dukes and kingdoms. There's a lot less counties on the world right now, but we have an interesting map. Culture and religion is pretty much the same, so the people in these areas should have the correct culture and religion. It shouldn't be too strange for that. So still, these people are English over here. We got the Irish in Ireland. Pretty much these have much more weird names and titles, you know, weird names, titles, colors. And let's go ahead and look at the empire titles, and this is quite interesting. I just say one of the more interesting ones is the one in Great Britain. It's France and Great Britain together. Also, Scandinavia is a little bit weaker. We can also see this Russian one is quite interesting. The Byzantines one is quite weak. Italy, I really like, is Italy and Greece. So these are some interesting empire titles that people can acquire. And also the kingdoms are a lot, they're actually pretty normal. The ones that might be more interesting are Britain. But these will be interesting to watch to see if anyone forms any kingdoms or empires because of these changes. But let's go ahead and see what happens in this video. We're going to be going until the end date. The one thing I forgot to take a look at is that some of these governments are a little different than what they should be. We can see that there's some tribal land up here. There's more theocracies and republics. It's a little bit more random. I don't think it's going to do a change unless we make it all republics and theocracies, but it will be interesting to see. I think Europe is a little messy, but it's going to be interesting when the Mongol horde gets here. I think they'll still come, but I gotta say, Iberia is kind of looking the best. I think Fatima is looking real good. It's quite hard to tell really who's going to do well. I think maybe in like 30-50 years I'll be really easy to tell who's going to come on ahead, but there's a lot of border gore and it looks kind of ugly right now. We'll see who wins. We'll see who wins. Something I started to think about is that this might help like non-European countries, because what we've done in this one, because a lot of these India and Africa, like kind of Asia, there's a lot of small counties that just take too long to like build up. Well, Europe is kind of unified like this normally. Europe kind of looks like normal, but like this is much more unified in Africa and India, so we might actually see a non-European power take the throne here. So far, it's kind of hard to tell what's happening because not too much has happened. But I still think Fatima they're looking good. They're looking good. They're actually got a lot of land. I think that they are gonna cause some pain, especially because no one in Iberia is actually Catholic, so they're gonna shoot straight up into Europe. So we're gonna have to watch them for sure. Really, the only major develop is this French nation, which they're actually Dutch. They're not even French. They're starting to crumble. So we're gonna have a big void here in the middle. We got some territory to be eaten up. They have some disgusting borders everywhere, to be honest, so it's not really good for all of Europe. I don't think they'll do too much, to be honest, anymore, but nothing else really is happening, so we might take a much bigger gap in time just because not a lot's happening. No one's really sticking out too far, you know, so I'm really hoping that someone in the British Isle does good just because they have this empire title here that they can form. I hope to see at least 1 or 2 empires formed by the end date. We probably won't because some of them are quite big, others are actually quite small, so hopefully we'll see something. India was looking fine, but now they look disgusting. India's gonna have a hard time. I think like every kingdom that they had just blew up at this point. These are all like duchies now over here. Some of them are even counties. I like turn counties off. They should all be duchies. So this is pretty disgusting. It's probably some really bad successions. So India's probably out of it, unless we got someone in the south to do really good, and I think they're actually expanding right now, so maybe they can do something. So maybe this other nation can take it together and do a United India like my series. Check that out if you missed it. Self-promotion. Maybe we can just name this video like Border Gore, because man, is it bad. Things are starting to break apart even more, nothing's staying together. And that's because I don't think a lot of people have the actual titles, which is weird because a lot of these kingdoms do have the kingdom titles, so I don't know why they're breaking apart so much. I'm thinking maybe they're overextended a little bit. If we look here, yeah, they're a little overextended to what their actual kingdom titles and stuff are like. But there's just a lot of rebellions and stuff, and it's just kind of looking disgusting. Southern Africa, well, it's not actual, yeah, you know, it's this part of the map. Southern is not looking very good. They're looking like how they look in the regular game, just a whole bunch of counties. Europe is looking absolutely disgusting with the border gore. Scandinavia could be getting something on. This blue nation is looking quite good. They are tribal though, so they usually like kind of fade away. Nations up here have broken apart. Everything's just looking kind of bad. Religion looking kind of, what is this? Iconolast? I've never seen that religion ever. Well, oh my goodness, what's this religion too? These are all Christian faiths. Usually we don't see these Christian faiths here, so hopefully one of those nations can maybe do quite well. We have like 4 very unique Christian faiths that usually never really do much, kind of appearing early in the game. Hopefully these nations can actually do something. Actually, Thrace is actually one of them, and they hold Constantinople, and that's probably the best place on the entire map. So hopefully Thrace actually expands and we see a unique religion. So hopefully we see something unique pop up. This nation right here, this Pomeranian nation, is looking quite well. This is like a good modern Poland. A lot of their neighbors are really weak. I'm kind of hoping they expand from here. They might collapse, but they're looking quite good. They have a lot of alliances. They could expand. No one else is looking too good. It's pretty bad. Hopefully the next update will fix some of this border gore. This nation here is actually looking really good. They're actually getting quite close to forming this empire here. They're probably like 50% of the way there, so I think they could do it if they get their crap together. And then besides that, no one's really standing out. Some nations are starting to consolidate. Still, Scandinavia is really where I'm thinking someone might form out. These nations are actually pretty blobby. There's only like 3 big ones here. Everyone else is actually quite weak. So we can maybe see some big nations. I really would love these southern Indian nations to pick it up as well. I must be blind. I didn't see this Alexandria Lee. That's weird name, but they're looking really good here. They're actually, if they take out Thrace, they'll probably be the dominant power in the region. No one really can stop them. They have a big chunk of Turkey. This might be a nation to watch out for. These nations are looking actually quite good too. There's plenty of land to eat up, so maybe it is getting a little bit better. We'll see. This nation right here, Alexandria, is looking good. You should watch them. It's looking like I'm actually right, as I tend to be. This Scandinavian country, which is kind of Finland, is expanding rapidly into Russia, and I think they're doing quite well. This Polish nation is also expanding a little bit, looking good. So my prediction's pretty good. This Alexandria, we're doing okay still, but you know, some predictions always go well when you have the best CK3 player predicting. Yeah, no one's ready for this Mongol horde. They're gonna wipe out everyone. It's also weird because I'm playing my Chinese series and it feels like I should be able to go further over, but I can see everything zoomed out. The Mongols should tear over everyone, and this whole side of the map should just be destroyed. The East is just doomed. There's no way they're going to survive. I do have to say, some nations in the West are actually starting to do good. This nation here that's kind of like in Russia, it's kind of more like Ukraine, is looking pretty good. Some of these other nations are starting to look good as well. Nothing's really forming too big. Everything kind of looks normal, like kind of the same. Nothing huge, except for Scandinavian countries are starting to fall apart, which I'm not very happy. Well, they're not really starting to fall apart. They're starting to make border gore with each other. The Mongols will expand, but they will fall as they always do. I will be making a Mongol something video eventually. I think the pretty much easiest way to make them never fall is make their leader never die, and there you go. You get a Mongol horde that wins every time because, yeah, he's a great Khan. So, yep, that's pretty much what we're going to do in the video sometime in the future, but hopefully the Mongols don't ruin this one. Here is a nation we haven't talked about at all, which is actually doing quite well. The name is, yeah, we're not gonna pronounce it, but that nation is doing pretty good. It's like Burgundy. I'd say this English nation is doing quite well as well. They have like all of England, or at least most of it. Still nothing coming out of Iberia, but I think there's about to be someone that's about to come ahead. Thrace is still doing good. They've actually are expanding weird and formed a kingdom. The Mongols are expanding. I don't think they will really bother anyone too much, but it's getting a little bit more tense in Europe. You can see there's a lot more major powers that are thriving. This Aquitanish nation is doing good. Norman, kind of like the French territory, is doing good. So we should start seeing some powers consolidate here and really give some runs for some people's money. As I said, that there are now like only 2 powers in Iberia, and if one of these nations takes over the other one, which guy on the west, he's looking real strong, 16,000 troops. He can crush this guy in the east, and he should, if he gets this territory, he is going to steamroll everyone nearby because no one's even close to that guy's power. So the Balkans decided to balkanize, and they just all blew up every nation in this area. It's disgusting at this point. Thrace, which is now this very long V name, could maybe capitalize on this, but someone needs to because it's disgusting and I don't want to see it anymore. Thank you very much. Thanks for my time. The Mongol Empire has collapsed. They're still here. There's actually 2 of them, which I haven't seen before, which is kind of cool. I don't think they're gonna last. The one Mongol Empire actually does have a chance of coming back. I don't think they will. They usually don't. It would be interesting to see them come back. We'll see, but now it's time for the rest of Europe to figure out their shit because they need to. It's pretty bad. Not the rest of Europe, the rest of the world, because man, is it bad. The Mongols are actually coming back. This happens occasionally, and I like to see it happen, but they got a long way to go. I do have to say it's pretty ugly everywhere. No nation is doing anything anymore. I might wait till like close to the end date because man, it's bad. Everything has exploded at this point. The Scandinavia countries have exploded. The Balkans are somehow more exploded than before, and then the middle of Europe is about to explode. So yeah, let's just wait a little bit. Let's see if the Mongols conquer the world. Let's just go for that. This is the first time we might see a winner in Africa. This nation here is doing extremely well. There's no one even threatening them. So as long as this nation doesn't collapse, I think they could win it, especially if they take over Egypt. They'll have like most of the northern coast of, they're looking good, and I think they're actually attacking this country right here. So it's gonna be interesting to see if this African nation can pick it up and win the game. We finally have a familiar face. We have Austria, except for their 3 different nations. So we kind of have Austria, really messed up Austria, but hopefully they can do well. They have 13,000 troops, so they're looking actually quite well. So hopefully this weird Austria mutant country can do something with their power. I doubt it though. It's probably this Thrace nation. They're starting to look good. 20,000 troops, yeah. If the Marines don't kill them, I know that's not the Marines. I don't know how to pronounce anything. I dare not to. The Marines might kick them out though. No, they're not. Okay, the Marines are pretty weak. Army. Oh gosh, I'm gonna get some mean comments. I was just joking, I don't care. So Ali is looking quite good in Iberia. They're slingshotting themselves into Europe. The rest of Europe, they're looking pretty good. I think they're gonna get all of Iberia and get some of France. Austria's actually expanding. I was just using them as a meme, but like they're actually looking quite good. They connected to their borders. And also this nation down here in like Egypt came out of nowhere. They're doing pretty good. They're quite big. They are dealing with some internal conflicts. I don't know if they're going to dissipate, but they're looking pretty good. Then we also have the good old Greek nations doing good. The Marines and Thrace are looking quite good. This nation right here is actually Bulgarian, so they're not Greek or the Byzantines, so it's okay if they win. And they're actually a unique Christian religion, so I would love to see them expand even more because I love when a unique religion does good. Look, I've never even seen a religion like this do good. And I think Austria's also another. Come on, Austria, you got this, buddy. Do it for me. Sorry, I got excited, but Austria's also a unique religion, so Austria. I want Austria to win. Let's go, Austria! Let's go, Austria! Seconds later. Why'd I say anything? Seconds later, they fell apart. God dang! You can't even write this in the script. They literally fell apart seconds later. I was hoping Austria was gonna do good, and I chanted their name, and then they fell apart literally like 5 minutes later. It's okay, Austria. I appreciated your try. Hopefully, maybe one of these nations can spread your religion. We have not looked at India in a while, and India's looking quite good, quite well. Look at these three nations here, 36, 21, and 43 for troop size. They're looking quite well. I think one of these nations will unify India by the end of the campaign, or they might not. This middle one is pretty weak, so I think they're going to die, but one of these three nations I think is going to take over, and they're looking good. We might see a unified India or one of these empires, because they're looking quite well out here. This French nation has migrated to the middle of Europe. I don't know why, like central Germany. They were this southern nation, but they have migrated over here. And did this nation just form an empire? No, they just got a different kingdom title. I thought they formed an empire. I was a little impressed, but no, they migrated. Quite interesting. These colors are hard to tell who's been here and who hasn't been, just because it's all unique colors that I've never seen before. This is an interesting nation we have down here. I don't know how it got here. This is a Russian Islamic nation in Greece and Turkey. Can't make some of this stuff up. I didn't change culture and religion. I don't know how they're down here. I don't understand how they got down here. Wait a minute. Oh, for a second I thought I saw land up here. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I don't understand how they got here. And then this nation in Iberia is dying, and I'm sad. We are 50 years until the end, and I have to say, it is anyone's game, really. These Indian nations, they could still do really good. I don't think anyone else will really surpass anything, to be honest. We got some nations doing some okay things. This Thrace nation, I'm calling them Thrace because that's the duchy that they have, or at least they had at one point. It's the same nation. They're doing quite well. They're definitely one of the most powerful, and I really like their unique religion. Then over here we have like this Burgundy nation. They're actually French. They're looking quite well as well, and this Iberian nation is looking good as well. I think that we will see someone form an empire here soon. Also, the Scandinavian nation is doing really good. They're actually kind of weak, but their borders are good, so hopefully they can do something too. Well, we have a front runner. One of the most powerful nations took out one of the other most powerful nations, so this nation is extremely powerful. It's going to be interesting if they keep this territory because it is different religion and culture underneath it, but they are extremely powerful if they're able to maintain this. I don't think anyone will be able to stop them. I think they're going to ravage Europe. So let's see if they continue to do well. No one else is really doing too well in Europe besides Thrace. The Marines are officially dead, and so it's going to be interesting to see if they can survive the rebellions that are about to happen. And if they do survive the rebellions, oh, it's going to be sweet victory. We have a formed empire down here in India, and they're looking super powerful. I think if we continued past the end date, which we might do a special Sparta time-lapse at the end of this video, I think they're going to absolutely crush everyone. So this is going to be quite good to see. And then nothing else is really happening besides the absolute collapse of Turkey and the Balkans once again. I've said that like 7 times this video. I don't know why it's keep on happening. I thought we're over this already. We are at the end date, and I have to say it's pretty ugly, as it tends to be. But we have some nations that are definitely standing out, and the two that I would like to throw out here is this Indian nation down here. They're an empire. They're looking quite well. They pretty much have half of India. They are looking quite swell, and I think they would continue to get the rest of India. And then this nation that's in Iberia, they have conquered a lot of Iberia, Italy, and now France. They are extremely powerful. I don't know how they don't have an empire. I think it's because they have a lot of weird ones, and that the empire title they could get is really large. So I think it is unfortunate, but they would actually win at the end. And I think we'll look one more time super long into the future, and we will see exactly what this will look when it's in the year 2000 and see if anything interesting is then. You know, one more time, way in the future. But this is pretty much it. We're going to go ahead and look at religion now as well, because everything else is going to be way in the future. Lorard is looking good. They are a Christian faith. Same with this apostolic faith. These are some cool Catholic faiths we usually don't see. The Muslim faiths are invading Europe as we speak, and it's actually quite interesting to see that Orthodox is pretty much dead. Also, this Buddhist faith usually doesn't spread too much in the north, which is all the way you can see it almost in Scandinavia. So we got some interesting religions in this game too. We can see that culture didn't change too much. Culture usually doesn't until you go super far in the future, but there's a little stuff everywhere. But this is a quite interesting campaign, and you can see that people don't expand as fast if they don't have the de jure futures and everything. So if we go a little bit more in the future, which we will right now, we'll see exactly who gets all the country. Because right now these are Islamic and I think Arabic nation, and then these ones down here are Tamil and Buddhist faith. I think they'll definitely shine, and we'll probably see one of those in the end. And Thrace finally fell in the Greek place, but we'll see in 2000. But this is pretty much the end of the video, unless you want to see it super far in the future. So yeah. far, far into the future, and the only nation I really can recognize that was there before is the Toloese nation. They're looking still really good in Iberia. They're probably still one of the most powerful. Maybe not the most powerful because it's Biliad that is looking super strong. They have most of the Great British. They have Scandinavia. They do have an empire. And what is this empire that they have? It's the one in like Scandinavia, but it's really taken over a lot. The empire titles look really ugly now because there's a lot of empires now and they're really making a lot of things ugly. Burgundy is looking really good too. Really got to appreciate them. This nation out here, this horde's looking really good. A lot of these nations are really looking good. There's a ton of empires out here now. This Indian nation that we were following fell apart, which is unfortunate. There's a new empire there. I think actually this might be them down here because they're still an empire, so they might have fell apart down here. But I have to say, this is still an impressive game. Religion, this is the most crazy religion I've ever seen. It's only Islamic nations. There's nothing. I've never seen that. Usually there's something of somewhere, something. These are, I think, almost all Islamic nations. There is one religion that is not Islamic. There's a Buddhist religion down here, but everything else is Islamic, which is insane. Culture-wise, it usually doesn't change except for like French has finally, and that makes sense because this nation is French here, and they've had it for long time. This nation up here, it looks like they're Islamic and they're Arabic group. So I think what might have happened, I might have to look at the time lapse, is that this nation expanded and then split into two. That's really what it looks like, because otherwise it doesn't really make sense. But dang, is this an impressive game. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in a future episode. I think that's all the map modes we really need to go through. Governments, feudal, clan, makes sense. But thank you all for watching. See you in a future video. See you later. Bye. If you like this video, check out some of my other content. I do time lapses, I do let's plays, I do challenges, I do a whole bunch of stuff. So if you liked it, check out some of these videos on the screen now, some playlists, and thank you for supporting the channel. I actually appreciate it. I couldn't do it without you. See you later, have a good one, and have a great rest of your day.